we love to let her find. Enable the Answer Pittsburgh skill. After she confirms, you can then say, Alexa, play The Answer Pittsburgh. That's all you have to do, and Alexa will learn how to find us. You can listen to us through your Amazon Echo, Echo Show, Echo Dot, and Amazon Tap devices. Alexa, what is your favorite radio station?
That's easy. AM 1250, The Answer.
Veritas strikes again. Yep. And they did a job on CNN a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure you saw all that stuff, the undercover video. Well, now it's ABC. Now, this is an ABC anchor. She's a regular on Good Morning America. She's sitting in a studio back in August. It's Amy Robach. She's mic'd up. Somebody at ABC obviously decided to give it to Project Veritas, and the woman she refers to is Virginia Roberts in this audio. And Virginia Roberts is one of Epstein's victims, Jeffrey Epstein's victims, who came forward after staying quiet for 12 years.
We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us in a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything. To no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like, every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, what we had was unreal. Other women backing it up. Yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. And I had it all 3 years ago.
Yeah, and ABC, sounds to me like ABC did a nice job of covering up for what she referred to as the most prolific pedophile in American history. Remember, this is the work that's so woke and so concerned about women's rights and Me Too movement and what we went through with the Brett Kavanaugh hearings. So this video is everywhere today. And then Amy Robach said this, I'm guessing to save her job. She says, this is her statement, actually, that's why it's a big deal, because it was private, you thought, and you were frustrated, and it was captured on video. But yeah, you were caught in a private moment of frustration. In other words, you were speaking what you thought was, you thought you were in a private situation, and you were saying things you would never say publicly. That's the whole point and the whole value of this video. Anyway, she goes on to say, I was upset that sufficient corroborating evidence to meet ABC's editorial standards about her allegations. If you listen to that, she's lying. To meet ABC. She didn't say that, I did. I was referencing her, not what ABC News had verified through our reporting. If another lie. Our standards. Just a pile of steaming horse manure. In the years since, no one ever told me on the team there at ABC back when this story might have been beginning was the brother of someone in the Obama administration. Story. Ever since we've had a team on this investigation and substantial resources dedicated to it. That work has led to a 2-hour documentary and 6-part podcast that will air in the new year. Okay? Again, a steaming pile of horse manure. How many people were and are involved in covering up this Jeffrey Epstein story? Now, the Daily Caller pointed out today that Epstein hosted a party back in 2010 at his house for Prince Andrew, one of the people accused by Virginia Roberts of being on the... George Stephanopoulos was at the party, and so was Katie Couric. I believe that Katie was the CBS News evening news anchor at the time. They were both there at Jeffrey Epstein's house, okay? And Daily Caller also reported that a longtime New York Times writer named Landon Thomas Jr. got a $30,000 donation from Epstein for what I don't know. So does anybody believe that this guy Epstein killed himself? Anybody? Well, here's a guy who doesn't. It's Dr. Michael Baden. He's a former New York chief medical examiner. He was there for the autopsy on Epstein's body. He has said that the injuries to Epstein's neck didn't look like they were from a hanging because of the bones that were broken, but that they were from strangulation. He was on Fox and Friends a couple of days ago.
You know, this struck me as odd. I don't know if it is odd, though, that the New York City, the chief medical examiner who issued the evaluation was not at the autopsy.
Initial death certificate pending by calling it a suicide within a few days when the medical examiner who did the autopsy didn't have the information to do that. And I was at the autopsy, and the autopsy showed that the neck had been crushed. It wasn't due to a ligature, and there was no evidence that he was hanging. See, the medical, because of the photograph, the ligature about 3 feet off the ground to the bed pole, and he was on the ground. You can't be hanging in that situation.
We actually have a statement from that chief medical examiner, Dr. Barbara Sampson. This is from Thursday, and it says the original medical investigation was thorough and complete. There was no reason for a second medical investigation by our office.
Yeah, but the investigation still hasn't been finished. It's not complete. What did the other inmates say? The normal investigation in a death in prison, if it were Rikers Island and in New York, the police would go in and would interview all the inmates who were around in the area. They would take the ligature and do DNA to see whose DNA is on the ligature. None. They would not let the body be removed till they got photographs of how the body was.
Yeah, so this Epstein guy appeared to have had a lot of really good friends in important places, or important friends in pretty important places. Somebody's covering up a lot of things, a lot of people. This is a better way to put it.
You a question that has been plaguing me for a while. How did you kill Jeffrey Epstein? Because You're not in power, but you have all the power. I really need to understand how you do what you do. Because you seem to be behind everything to become president. What is the game plan?
Well, Trevor.
But honestly, though, what does it feel like being the boogeyman of the right?
Well, it's a constant surprise to me. Because the things they say, and now, of course, it's on steroids with being online, are so ridiculous beyond any imagination that I could have. And yet they are so persistent in putting forth these crazy ideas and theories. Honestly, I don't know what I ever did to get them so upset. But a lot of them live to come up with these conspiracy theories. And, you know, I've gotten kind of used to it. It's been going on for a number of years.
Yeah, I should have gotten the clip. I just thought of it now, of Hillary saying that the Monica Lewinsky all these conspiracies. This is a woman who went on national TV and said that the Monica Lewinsky accusations and the whole story was nothing but a vast right-wing conspiracy. So how's the media doing on this story so far? There can't be anybody left in America who thinks Epstein killed himself.
On the border town of Tel Aviv, a border town bombarded by Turkey's military. This video right here appearing to show Turkey's military bombing Kurd civilians in a Syrian border town. The Kurds who fought alongside the U.S. against ISIS. Now, horrific reports of atrocities committed by Turkish-backed fighters on those very allies.
Yeah, the only problem with that, the video that lots of people should have been fired for that. I don't know if anybody was. ABC also ran the video the next day on Good Morning America. They made a correction on Twitter that day, but as far as I know, still have never admitted the mistake on the evening news or Good Morning America. So ABC's credibility is right up there with NBC's. It was just a few days ago that Ronan Farrow and that Hillary said that Hillary Clinton needed on NBC to get his Harvey Weinstein. She hasn't heard anything close to the truth, the full truth about Matt Lauer.
The facts in it stand on their own pretty firmly. I think the important thing about the Matt Lauer story is that it too is bigger than one person. It is about a company that was told about a problem repeatedly for years, struck settlements with women with complaints about Matt Lauer, and about whom senior executives were told. I spoke to some of those executives myself, and yet they allowed an individual to continue to step that company, and other people allegedly got hurt as a result. This is the cost of a cover-up. The book refers to 7 complaints that I uncovered about Matt Lauer, and some of those are described in detail by name. Some of those individuals remain too frightened to come forward by name, and I think when you look at the kind of smear campaign that is spun up against this kind of reporting and these kinds of accusers that are brave enough to come forward, you can see very readily why it takes so much bravery and why such a tiny fraction of victims do speak out.
And these are the networks who were so quick to believe every accusation against Brett Kavanaugh last year. But talk to a liberal and they'll tell you that Fox News is faux news, you know, FAUX news, and has no credibility. We'll be right back. They blow into town with the wind, rain, and hail. And out-of-town storm chasers going door to door, often posing as a local company offering a quick fix to desperate homeowners. If you've had damage to your roof, windows, siding, or gutters and downspouts, you may be eligible to get them replaced or repaired free of charge. Just be careful who you call. Visit WindowsRUsPittsburgh.com for a free inspection from one of highly trained appraisers. With over 50 years in home remodeling, Windows R Us is the area's premier exterior replacement company for roofs, siding, gutters and downspouts, doors, and of course windows. If damage isn't your issue and you just want something new, you'll love their no-pressure approach, no hidden fees, and one of the fastest turnaround times in the industry. A company who will never skip town when it comes to honoring their warranty. Visit WindowsRUsPittsburgh.com. Mention STAG for an additional 10% off. Windows R Us, proud sponsor of the Jerk of the Week, heard every Friday on the John Steigerwald Show. WindowsRUsPittsburgh.com. Don't be at a disadvantage when it comes to your Medicare coverage. Open enrollment ends December 7th, and you have some important decisions to make today. This is John Steigerwald. Medicare is confusing. Todd Marley and the experts at Marley Financial know you have questions, and they have the answers you're looking for. Before you lock in for another year, are you sure you're getting the best coverage possible? Visit MarleyFG.com and find out for yourself. Do you hold pat for another year? Has your Advantage plan changed terms on you? What premiums are going up next year, and how much? Should you switch your Part D prescription plan or drop it altogether? Don't go it alone. Let Marley Financial steer you to a comprehensive solution that lets you access any hospital or doctor you want. A plan that focuses not just on cost, but quality, with lower deductibles and co-pays that are little to none. Why get stuck paying thousands in out-of-pocket expenses? Call 724-884-1496 today. 724-884-1496 or visit them at marleyfg.com. That's marleyfg.com.
Hi, this is Rhett Rasmussen of BestHotGrill.com. Not only do we have great grills, but also the best hot patio heaters. We are the nationwide distributor for Bromic Radiant Patio Heaters, the very best patio heater that you can get. The Bromic heaters use the same radiant burner technology as our Solaire infrared grills, so they heat up fast and keep you warm so you can enjoy your backyard grill and outdoor living spaces into the night and all year round. Bromic heaters have stylish contemporary designs that fit perfectly in backyard and restaurant patios. We have models to suit most installation needs and a portable gas heater that directs the heat where you want it, not the bushes and walls like the mushroom heaters. For quality performance and aesthetics, you want Bromic Radiant Patio Heaters and Solaire Infrared Grills. Learn about these amazing grills and heaters at BestHotGrill.com. That's BestHotGrill.com, BestHotGrill.com.
At the Original Mattress Factory, we don't chase trends. We focus on one thing: quality. We only use the highest quality materials to build our mattresses and box springs, and we put all of our products through the ringer, testing new designs and materials at our test center in Cleveland, Ohio. If a new feature or technology doesn't offer a true benefit, we don't. Original Mattress Factory. Our focus is on what makes a great mattress, not a great markup. Visit originalmattress.com to learn.
So when you purchase from the Original Mattress Factory, you're not only getting a quality mattress at a factory direct price, you're also supporting your local economy.
On AM 1250 and FM 92.5, The Answer.
Well, today is Election Day, and there's some important races going on around the country. One of them is in Kentucky. That's where Donald Trump was last night. There's a governor's race there that, according to what I'm looking at here, the Mason-Dixon line poll from a few days ago said it was tied at 46-46. The incumbent is Matt Bevin, and the challenger is the Democratic Attorney General Andy Beshear. Yesterday we played the ad for you that which touched on one of our favorite subjects here, the stupidity of the Equality Act and how it will but forbid anybody from preventing a man from competing against.
All female athletes want is a fair shot in competition, at a scholarship, at a title, at victory. What if that shot was taken away by a competitor who claims they're a girl but was born a boy? Andy Beshear supports legislation that would destroy girls' sports. He calls it equality. Maybe, but is it fair? Vote against Andy Beshear. He's too extreme for Kentucky.
Yep, and that was a TV ad, and you just obviously, I don't think you saw the pictures there on radio, but that was the video of a one of my favorite subjects here. Lamb has not even responded to our requests, like we didn't exist, and then we asked just for a statement on the in favor of it. So if it passes, the effect that it will women's sports, and we just wanted a statement if they're okay with that, and both. Very nice and polite and professional email to them, each of them, asking for a statement. Again, Connor Lamb ignored us. Mike Doyle sent back a 3-word answer. Aaron, sorry, no. That was the response. So this is good because this is going to be an issue. It is already an issue in this campaign in Kentucky. But here's an ad by the GOP Young Guns, and guess who they're talking about here?
This isn't the Democratic Party Connor Lamb thought it was. The socialist left controls his party controls him. They want control of the White House, and they want it now. That's what impeachment's all about. Control. One party's power play nullifying the last election, stealing the next one. That's not democracy, that's theft. Tell Lamb, stop caving to party bosses, vote no on impeachment. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
How about that? That's the GOP Young Guns. I haven't been able to get hold of them to tell them that Connor Lamb is invisible. We can't find him. He's hiding. I don't know where he is, but he's never seen. And Sean Parnell is running against him, and he's a pretty good candidate. And it is not going to be an easy one. Mike Doyle is probably going to be unopposed, so he can go out and he can run around town naked and still get elected. But Connor Lamb's going to have Sean Parnell to deal with, and Sean Parnell will be here on the show at 5:30 on Friday. I think it's 5:30. Well, it'll be on Friday. It might be 5:15, but it'll be Friday. And by the way, both Connor Lamb and Mike Doyle are invited to come on with them if they'd like. I'm sure they'd love to come on and debate him on this subject. We'll come back and talk about one of my favorite subjects in just a little bit here, dogs. That would be war dogs. We're going to talk to the guy from the United States War Dog Association and talk about those war dogs like the one involved in getting the head of ISIS a couple of weeks ago. Stick around.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The White House says the latest impeachment transcripts prove that the inquiry is a sham.
Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham says the transcripts from U.S. Ambassador Gordon Sondland and former Special Envoy Kurt Volker showed there is even less evidence for this illegitimate impeachment sham than previously thought. She points to Sondland's statement that he did not know why the Trump administration suspended aid to Ukraine. That's what he originally testified. However, Sondland revised his testimony this week, acknowledging there was a quid pro quo. Greg Clegg.
While President Trump is on voters' minds as Virginians decide whether Republicans or Democrats will control Virginia's legislature, the Old Dominion is a marquee warm-up for the 2020 election cycle. On Wall Street, another record as the Dow is up by 30 points to 27,492. This is SRN News.
If credit card debt has you down, nonprofit Trinity Debt Management can help.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees, and drastically reduce your interest. You'll pay thousands less than you originally owed.
It's not a loan. It's a way to become debt-free and possibly improve your credit score.
So call Trinity and talk to a certified counselor. They'll explain their proven program to you with no pressure, just practical solutions and hope for tomorrow.
Are you ready to pay off your credit cards in less time for less money? Then call for a free no-obligation debt analysis and become debt-free for keeps.
If your debt has you down, we should talk. Gather up your bills and call this toll-free number for a free, no-obligation debt analysis.
Call 1-800-990-6976, 1-800-990-6976, 1-800-990-6976.
Larry Elder says education doesn't always equal informed.
This is not about IQ, whether or not you've done well on your aptitude test. There are people that have a great deal high scores who are absolutely either devoid of common sense or have bought into stuff that they've heard on television, have not bothered to research it themselves.
The Larry Elder Show, weeknights at 7 on AM 1250. The Answer.
Governor Tom Wolf's plan for Pennsylvania to join the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative passes neither the sniff test nor basic fact-checking. Analysis by the Allegheny Institute for Public Policy concludes the desire to join what is known as RGGI is more about extracting a carbon tax than anything to do with the environment. Learn more about this dubious plan at AlleghenyInstitute.org, where conventional public policy thinking has been challenged every day since 1995.
This is Jay Hagerman of Abernathy and Hagerman. Upon your passing, you wouldn't want a judge to decide who raises your children or how your estate gets divided. It is important to review your estate planning documents to ensure they protect what matters most. At Abernathy and Hagerman, we will work with you
Needs a ton of work. The pipes are leaking. Needs a new roof. The AC just broke. I just don't have time to do it all myself. You know anyone?
Oh, just ask Home Advisor. They match you with the best local pros for any home.
Cool.
Yeah, you can read reviews and book appointments online.
What's it cost?
Actually, Home Advisor is always free to use.
Nice. I'll check it out.
Go to homeadvisor.com or download the free app.
Home Advisor.
Bridge. Inbound delays on the Parkway West 376 heavy from Airport Expressway to 60 and 79 to Roslyn Farms Road. Also Green Tree Road to the Fort Pitt Tunnel. That's a look at traffic. I'm Jenny Robinson.
AM 1250.
Wasn't long ago that Special Forces killed the leader of ISIS. That was a couple of weeks ago. When the dog that was involved in the attack and now, where do these dogs come from and how are they trained? Well, Ron Aiello is the president of the United States War Dogs Association, and he joins us now. Ron, thanks for being here.
It's my pleasure.
So what exactly is the U.S. War Dog Association?
We're a support organization for military dogs that are in retirement. Number of health programs for them because when they retire, they're kind of cut off from all support. So that's where we step in and we give them all the support that they need.
When does it become apparent, or is there a definite cutoff time, an age limit when they are retired?
Normally, a dog starts at probably about 6-7 years. So they're around 9 years old, when they retire, and they've only got a couple of years left to live, and that's why we want to make them comfortable in their retirement years. I mean, they work just as hard as a soldier trained. Shepherds, Belgian Malinois, and Labrador Retrievers. Now, they're all trained in explosive detection, but the
Golden Retriever puppy, the vet said to me, he said, rob you, he'll help him take the stuff out. So
right, he'll go home with the robber.
Yeah. So I know that a Golden Retriever would never work, but I can understand the Labrador Retriever would be more for scent and tracking and things like that.
Exactly. Yeah, they're used. Labrador Retrievers are used for specialized explosive detection, and they're also used as tracker dogs. The Marine Corps uses them as tracker dogs. We used to say in Vietnam, the come in contact again with the enemy is if the enemy retreated and they went into hiding, then you would send a tracker team in, and they would actually track them down and connect with the enemy again.
Yeah. Now, were you in the service and worked with the dog yourself?
Yeah, I was one of the first of 30 Marine Scout dog teams to be deployed in Vietnam. Got there in March of '66.
Wow, you've been around a while.
So that's my experience. The dog. Well, as scout dogs, you're involved with everything.
Mm-hmm.
They're and our dogs were trained to detect explosives. We call them booby traps back then. They call them IEDs now.
Mm-hmm.
A sniper in a tree, an enemy ambush, a punji pit hole. The dogs were say at 11 o'clock across the field at about 300-400 yards, and the wind's coming right. I could decipher, we have an enemy ambush in the tree line there.
Wow.
So that's the part, is deciphering what she's. So they can actually pick up human scent or explosive scent in the air, and if you're in the field clearing area, and they can smell up at 1,000 yards away.
This is off the subject a little bit, but I've always wondered about this. From the time I was covering the Steelers and traveling with the Steelers right after 9/11, I was flying on their charter. And prior to 9/11, we would just get off the bus, the team bus, underneath the stadium and walk to the press box. And then after 9/11, we were to be frisked. Check out the entire team, and maybe a little longer than that. And I said to the guy, why doesn't everybody? He said, these are the only two bomb-sniffing dogs in Hamilton County, which is Cincinnati. And
okay.
So my is, why
hundreds of dogs.
They are?
And they're being... and there's... Their dogs are more friendly looking.
Would my golden retriever qualify for that?
Yeah, golden retrievers. Yeah, sure. And so they're bringing more of the floppy-eared dogs in, and they're bringing them in by the hundreds. They're training them now.
Well, that's good.
And matter of fact, I just had one over here about a week ago. Stopped by, and just a great dog. And they're very, the new training is now they don't even have to. You can walk by a dog, explosives on you, or narcotics. You walk by the dog, and the dog just happens to walk behind you 10 feet. He could smell, or she could smell the scent in the air.
So if you're,
it's called vapor wake.
Wow. And what if I had a gun?
Yeah.
What if it just was a gun, or?
Oh yeah.
Pick up the scent of the powder.
It could be bullet in your pocket.
Big suitcase right in the middle of all the clothes, and if a dog came by and sniffed that suitcase, he would alert. He'd show that he
would. Yes, he would.
One bullet in a big suitcase.
One bullet
with all the scents that are in there, with the clothes
right.
and the laundry detergent. And
a dog's sense of smell is so great. When we sit down and have an Italian spaghetti dinner, have a sauce.
Mm-hmm.
The dog smells the sauce. The oregano. And you mix it in with other ingredients, they're still going to smell it because they separate it all.
It's amazing. Now, I've got to ask you.
Yeah, they are amazing.
We're talking to Ron Aiello. He's the president of the United States War Dogs Association. So when you heard the story about Baghdadi and the fact that they caught him, and you heard the story, just whatever you got from the media or wherever you heard about it,
right?
Were you able to picture what you thought the dog did in that situation based on the accounts you got?
Yes. I
think happened.
They were tracking him down, and he was on a run. And the dog and the handler's out in front of the patrol. And my thought, he was running, he was yelling, he was screaming, and all that stuff. Now, why was he doing that? Was he actually frightened? Or was he warning the other ICE members up ahead? Or going down this tunnel, was he setting them up for a trap?
No.
You don't know in that scenario. So, I mean, when I say setting up a trap, they have a lot of IEDs over there. They could have set up that tunnel or that area with some IEDs, which he knew where they were, and he could skirt around them or through them, and then the troops coming right behind them would walk right into them.
Wow.
Okay, but with the dog up front, you got two things. You got an aggressive dog tracking this guy, and the other thing, it's an explosive detection dog.
Oh.
So if there are IEDs in the road, the first thing the dog's going to do, he's going to smell it ahead of time. He's going to stop and sit down. That's an alert.
That's tremendous.
Stop, sit down, and that means we got explosives. Everybody stop. So that's a safety precaution with having that dog out front. It's, to me, I always call it the first line of defense.
Mm-hmm.
We lead the way. And they definitely lead the way.
So, if the dog is running into a tunnel, and there are IEDs in it, will the dog be away from the IED, buried in the ground, before he stops and sits?
Oh, he'll probably come pretty close to it. I couldn't say it. It would depend on the dog itself.
Yeah.
On their sense of smell but I would say it would be. I would say it would be pretty close.
Yeah. That's
it would be pretty close.
And then he's also an attack dog.
But they stop on a dime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean they
and follow behind him.
Well, normally dogs they go, and then in this case you got Delta Force Special Ops. These dogs. They train every day together, and they go over and over and over the scenarios. So when it's time for the mission,
Not something you want to mess with if you're an ISIS. Hey, Ron, I got about 2 minutes left, and I want to make sure you get a chance to talk about the association here. Adoption, those kinds of things. You got to how they can get involved and help out.
we have an emergency room reimbursement care. We have just started a new
person, and I can never get enough of creature, but
they are great service dogs.
Hey, Ron.
We help them in our education and employment program to connect with workforce development, to look at the skill gap that exists. And so we're partnering with places like the community college. We're taking clients, they are clean, they're ready to move on. Now they can actually get credentialed in an area where they can be hired to work with UPMC or Google.
It's probably because I'm not famous, but I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's: most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. Obsessive and offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3388. Enjoy.
Do you want to get rid of your expensive landline, save money, but keep your important home telephone number? Then OurOldNumber.com has the perfect solution. OurOldNumber.com allows you to keep your home phone number and cancel that expensive landline connection. With OurOldNumber.com, call family and friends to your
just smiled and said, "Us." Format print.
Race for governor, something you might want to be looking for tonight on the news if you're watching. There's a little piece here on the this whole transgender thing. See, I've been harping on this for a while. Supporting this, it's not so much Doyle because he's with him and issues such as immigration, the opioid crisis, and abortion. But if Bevin does win today's election, it will be in no small part due to a unique targeted advertising. Ideological distance from the typical voter in Kentucky. This is what I'm saying, hey, Connor, if you're listening out there, figure out not to. Connor Lamb could lose because of this issue. I'll talk to you. Bye.
The John Steigerwald Show is a production of AM 1250 The Answer and Salem Media Group.
Do you or your business have financial problems?